Take a look at the most recent China-US drama.
The Pentagon monitoring a spy balloon flying at high altitude over the United States.
While some Americans are demanding it be shot down.
Any potential debris field would be significant.
They could have shot that balloon down, and the biggest risk might have been hitting a cow, a prairie dog, or an antelope.
By 2:39, U.S. fighter jets took down a Chinese spy balloon.
That's my Air Force right there, buddy.
For those who don't know, the balloon was first spotted entering U.S. airspace from Alaska on January 28. Tuesday 31st, President Biden was noticed. And on February 4th, the military shot it down over the Atlantic Ocean close to the coast.
That's my Air Force right there, buddy.
The drastic measures were taken out of the fear that the aircraft were spying on the U.S. defense system, as it was tracked flying over sensitive areas of the military. The Chinese, on their side, describe it as a civilian airship used for meteorological purposes, and they claim it entered the U.S. by mistake due to weather conditions. Furthermore, they condemn the U.S. decision as an overreaction and claims to respond further. Then, a second balloon was tracked entering Latin America. The Chinese government claimed its ownership and, you guessed it, is being used for meteorological purposes, and it entered the continent by mistake. The whole world has taken an interest over the event, so much so that the balloon has now its own Wikipedia page. And scrolling through the article, I found out that this was not the first balloon. Similar occurrences have been spotted these last years over Florida, Guam, and Hawaii. The same has happened in Japan and Taiwan. Debris from the shot-down balloon are being retrieved. Further analysis of it will tell what the instruments were actually studying. But what do we make of all of this in the meantime? Well, my fellow planet Earthers, there's only one name I can think of: Cold War 2.0. The way such a concept works is conflicted parties flex on each other, showing off their military technological advancements, forcing the other one to believe that they don't want to get involved in a war with them. So despite occasional flirts, the parties don't ever actually engage in firing weapons. The top three strongest militaries are US, China, and Russia, in this order. The United States was very confident of its first place, until it found US chips powering Chinese weapons. So the recent CHIPS Act that the Congress passed is not just 52 billion subsidies in semiconductor industries. Yes, it will try to revitalize the domestic semiconductor industry, but is also trying to weaken USA dependence on foreign supply. They don't want to find themselves in the shoes of Great Britain in the First and Second World Wars, which was going in the brink of starvation when Germany was cutting off its far-flung supply chains. The Biden administration announced restrictions on American companies selling advanced semiconductors to China, including American citizens working for Chinese companies. And that was not the first time. Other major moves were made by the Trump administration, with sanctions in place, denying American companies to make business with Chinese ones. That was actually a direct shot at Huawei, which at the time was in a scarily strong position in 5G networks and smartphones. And the list goes on with regulations regarding materials for electronic vehicles and all emerging technologies. The alleged Chinese balloon spy is, in my opinion, part of the Cold War of the 21st century. It is very unlikely we will see any of the leading economies to engage in combat. The scary advancement of the sector would make it lethal for all sides. But data processing, semiconductors, materials, AI, these are the new trenches. The one who holds the supremacy in advanced technologies will control the world.